the US and Israeli-backed private aid organisation, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, has confirmed 20 Palestinians have been killed at one of its sites in the south of the Strip. Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran joins me now from Jerusalem. Hi there, Matthew. What do we know about these latest deaths?
Melissa, good evening. We have heard from GHF in a statement a short time ago saying that 20 people were killed at this site. 19 of them were trampled as the crowd surged towards the supplies that were being offered by GHF at this site in Khan Younis in southern Gaza. One other person was stabbed in that crowd surge. Generally, how these facilities have been operating, they open very early in the morning. There are generally thousands of Palestinians lining up from the moment that those gates open to try to get access to these boxes of supplies to take them back to their families. So we understand, or would certainly assume, that that is the situation that has happened there again this morning local time. But what has happened in this instance is, as GHF is describing it, there were agitators in the crowd. They are claiming that these individuals are from Hamas and that they were trying to whip the crowd into a frenzy at this site. Now, despite saying that, we do need to stress that GHF have not really provided any evidence to back up that claim, but it does fit with the rhetoric we hear from the organisation repeatedly over the last couple of months or so that it has been operating inside Gaza. So we'll wait to see what further details come from Gaza today. It is generally a little bit difficult to get information quickly out of the Strip, particularly from where some of these sites are, well away from established places where people are living at that stage, but we'll continue to monitor that and see whether or not this death toll does indeed grow. But that headline figure, 20 people killed at this site in Khan Younis earlier today, local time.
Matthew, tell us a bit more about the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This group has received some scathing criticism from international aid groups.
It has. This is the new distribution model, if you want to keep calling it new. It's been operating for a number of weeks now, but the new distribution model backed by the United States and Israel, which Israeli authorities in particular say is necessary to ensure that aid going into the Strip does not fall into the hands of Hamas. They have made repeated allegations that Hamas is taking aid, it is stockpiling its supplies for its own benefit there, something that the international aid community has roundly rejected and said that when we're talking about some of the aid which is now struggling to get into the Strip, things like baby humidity cribs for premature babies or babies needing support there, how on earth is that something that Hamas is going to be taking for its own purposes? That's the claim coming from the international aid organisations there. What's happened is that this private organisation, GHF, has been brought in. It's promised to establish a number of aid distribution sites across the country, where across the Gaza Strip, I should say, where people can come along, collect food, boxes of aid, food and supplies, and take them back to their communities. The criticism that's been levelled at GHF is that it's operating far too few of these sites across Gaza. If we look at the organisation's own operational updates, which it posts fairly regularly, daily actually, they were saying that there were only 2 sites operating in Gaza yesterday. That was the one in Khan Younis, where this incident has happened this morning local time. Another in the Saudi neighbourhood in Gaza was also operating. This is a population still in excess of 2 million who are trying to seek aid, and that is why we're hearing from humanitarian organisations that these sites are death traps, that people are having to trek for hours and hours to get to these sites, that they are not properly spread across the territory. We also know that in the last few weeks there have been multiple significant shooting incidents outside of these GHF facilities. Now, GHF has repeatedly said that it is distributing aid without incident, but it has wrapped it in a very significant caveat that those comments are only dealing with what is happening within the perimeter of its sites, not outside, which are IDF-controlled areas. And while the IDF has conceded it has fired warning shots in a number of these instances, it has denied any involvement in these mass shootings, these mass casualty events. The UN last week said that over the last few weeks, these incidents have claimed the lives lives of more than 800 Palestinians, a figure that GHF and the Israeli government has denied, saying it is merely based on Hamas data from the Hamas-run Gaza health authorities, and that it should not be trusted. But at the same time, Israeli authorities do not allow media into Gaza to verify this sort of information, and they also don't provide any alternate figures as to exactly how many people have been caught up in this. Mel.
Our Middle East correspondent Matthew Doran in Jerusalem there for us. Thank you.